What's up, guys? This is Jay Vincent with BioFit Personal Training. Today I'm going to talk about something extremely important, something that needs to be discussed, something that you guys need to firmly grasp and understand. Your ability to understand this and grasp this concept will have a profound effect on your state of fitness, your progress with fitness, your state of health, your reduction of injury in the gym. This is insanely important. Not a lot of people understand this concept, and it's the reason why we have a lot of these weird, gimmicky fitness protocols out there, why there's a lot of people doing stupid stuff in the gym and getting hurt, and why there's actually CrossFit. Probably had something to do with this. So, what I'm going to discuss today is called something Ken Hutchins coined a couple decades ago, called the real objective of exercise versus the assumed objective of exercise. Now, we'll start with the assumed objective. The assumed objective of exercise is to reduce movement, okay? So we assume that producing movement is going to correlate and result in the desired outcome, which is, in most cases, increases or improvements in body composition, increased muscular strength, improved endurance, etc. So this is where the problem lies. The assumed objective is simply moving the machine. The assumed objective of a shoulder press, for instance, is simply making these handles go up and down. So we can make them go up and down in a pressing movement. Lift them like this. You can get behind it. As you can see, the assumed objective is not exactly what we're looking for. The other side of the coin is what is referred to as the real objective of exercise. The real objective is to use a piece of equipment, use an exercise modality in order to create a very deep, meaningful level of muscular fatigue and cardiovascular stress, which is going to warrant an adaptation, a physiological adaptation in the body. So when people are practicing the assumed objective, these are the type of people who are going to, by any means, complete the exercise, get the prescribed amount of reps, shoot for weight that is far too heavy for them. The result is a injured, out of shape, frustrated individual who has spent years in the gym with little to show for it. That is someone who practices the assumed objective. We see that everywhere in the gym. We see people swinging shit around. We see people using horrible form for the sake of making the weight go up and down or making the handles move. Okay? Let's focus on the real objective of exercise, which is deep, meaningful muscular fatigue. We can do this a number of ways, and as you can see, there are a million ways out there now to create a deep level of muscular fatigue, and many of them work at first because it is a new stimulus to the body, but many of them aren't safe, they're not sustainable, they're not practical, and a lot of them are just downright stupid. CrossFit. So the real objective of the exercise is to create tension in the musculature that you are looking to fatigue and stimulate an adaptive response. Shoulder press, for instance, the real objective is to create tension in the deltoids, the triceps, the clavicular portion of the pec, in order to create a very deep level of muscular fatigue. More specifically, to create such a deep level of fatigue that the muscle is incapable of any further movement, so that way an adaptive response is stimulated and the improvements come when, if provided adequate rest and nutrition and recovery. So the real objective is to create tension. So by necessity, if you want a physical improvement, by necessity, you absolutely must almost eliminate chance of injury at any chance you get. Because if you get injured while exercising, that is completely counterproductive and counterintuitive to what you are actually exercising for. So high force, high momentum, explosive movements drastically shoot up your chance of injury. So avoiding these is a very smart and logical approach to fitness. So what I like to do is move in a slow, controlled manner. Sort of close to a super slow manner, but not quite that slow. I haven't really seen tremendous success with the super slow style, but if the goal is to create tension in your shoulders, moving quickly and allowing gravity and momentum to assist with the movement is doing no good for your muscles, and all it's doing is increasing your chance of injury, which those two things are obviously something you want to avoid when exercising. You don't want to get hurt, and you want the most muscle stimulation possible. So, in the shoulder press, for instance, the assumed objective is getting as many reps as possible. As you can see, this doesn't look very safe. The real objective is to create tension in the shoulders, creating tension by eliminating momentum, creating tension by eliminating the assistance of gravity on the eccentric part of the range of motion. So a proper shoulder press, rather than swinging the weight up and down, you will get your body into a joint congruent position, and you will begin to contract your shoulders against the machine through the range of motion. You will not lock out at the top, because when you lock out at the top, it relieves the muscle tension. And again, creating the most tension is what we're going to want if we want to create the best stimulus and the best adaptation. So avoid locking out at the top. As you can see, I'm talking to you, I'm not even out of breath, I'm just holding this in air. Granted, it's lightweight, but your elbows are made to lock out and relieve tension of the muscles, because your muscles don't want to be tired. So stop before lockout, slowly change direction. So that way gravity does not help you with the eccentric part of the range of motion. Changing direction at the bottom of the repetition is very important as well. This is going to help you eliminate momentum. It's going to help you eliminate transferring of tension on the connective tissue and protect your shoulders while stimulating the muscle better. So the change in direction at the bottom should be very slow, very gradual. A brief pause always helps before the weights touch and contract. Now you're focusing on keeping tension on the shoulders. You're not focusing on moving the weight up and down. Easy change in direction. Contract, contract, contract. Slowly down. Now when doing any exercise, I believe it is highly beneficial to reach a point called momentary muscular failure, where you are in good form, creating as much tension as possible in your shoulders, and you cannot complete the rest of the range of motion. At that point, you are pushing as hard as you can, you are picking up your breathing, and eventually your muscles are simply too weak to complete another repetition. At this point, you will lower the weight very, very slowly and safely, and relax. Momentary muscular failure is the most effective and time-efficient way in order to stimulate this adaptive response. So I highly recommend lifting to momentary muscular failure. It does take some practice to do it safely, but remember, the point is to make your muscles tired. So when your muscles begin to become fatigued, begin to become weak, that is not when you cease the exercise. That is not when you stop. That is when the exercise becomes the most effective. Your ability to push through that discomfort, through that threshold of where your body cannot produce any movement, will directly correlate to how quickly and how good of results that you will achieve from exercise. So, again, the assumed objective, moving the weight up and down. Wrong. The real objective, using a machine, using a tool such as a barbell, a tool such as a body weight movement, to create tension in the muscle, to fatigue the muscle. Your ability to distinguish the difference between these two will be crucial to your ability to reduce chance of injury, your ability to improve all the parameters of health that you're looking to improve, and what's going to keep you safe, okay? So, exercise modalities such as fitness classes, like Zumba, what else is there? Boot camps, sure, they create muscular fatigue, but not a deep, meaningful level of muscular fatigue, because these classes are designed to generate attendance. Therefore, they must be somewhat fun. And a true exercise, a true fatiguing exercise is not fun. It is miserable, but it is also, should be, a very short duration. So if your fitness approach, in general, if you enjoy it, if it is fun, most likely it is not very effective. I'm sorry, that's the way it is. Because the stimulation that tells the body to make the adaptations that we're looking for must be brutal. It must evolutionarily scare the body, biologically scare the body rather, into producing an adaptation. And you cannot be smiling and having fun as you're doing this, because it should be so demanding that that is impossible. So, brings me to another point. You see all these classes out there, and all these different fitness modalities, all these different fitness trends. Everybody's doing them. We have more people doing them now than ever. And everybody's fatter than they've ever been. Now, how is that possible? If these truly work, if these exercise protocols, if these classes, if all these things truly improve body composition, truly improve health parameters, why is everybody fatter? And why is everybody more injured? And why is cardiovascular disease through the roof? Okay? It's because they don't work. It's because the fitness industry does not give a shit about what works and what doesn't. All they want is for you to buy stuff, okay? They want you to pay for the gym membership. They want you to go into these classes, and they want to keep you coming back. If you got in significantly good shape, then those classes would become very easy for you. Most of the time they do become very easy for you because your body adapts metabolically, and you would have no reason to go. So as a general rule of thumb, adopting a very short duration, high intensity exercise, which is not fun, and doing it infrequently, such as once or twice a week, 3 times if you can handle it, is going to be much, much more effective than a spin class or a stupid Zumba class going to every day. Because most likely, if you've participated in these kind of workouts, you've noticed that you've gone to them every day and nothing has happened. And it's obvious because it doesn't work. We need to use our critical thinking skills here. We need to try to produce some sort of cause and effect relationship. And if, we've been attending a fitness class and sticking to a protocol such as this for so long and nothing has happened, obviously it doesn't work. And don't blame it on your diet, and don't blame it on your family because they like to eat a certain way and you can't because you have to feed them. Stop with all that bullshit, okay? Take some responsibility here. I had a client earlier this week. She does high intensity interval training, spinning 4 times a week, so she says. And she's very overweight, very overweight. She's got about 100 pounds of fat to lose. Now, she's been doing it for 1.5 years. Now, how do you do something like that for so long with the anticipation of losing weight, not lose any weight, matter of fact, probably gain weight, and continue to do it, okay? Because we've been sold so hard on all this bullshit that it's impossible for us to quit. So that is a short video with a little bit of rambling and ranting about how stupid the fitness industry is on, you know, your real objective when you're trying to work out versus your assumed objective. You know, and a lot of times I like to tell people, you know, what is more effective in terms of producing strength, overall fitness? A walk, a jog, or a sprint? Obviously, a jog is more effective than a walk, and a sprint is more effective than a jog. The increase in intensity results in an increase in adaptive response. A more intense workout is a more effective workout. Also must be done for a shorter duration. Also must be done less frequently. So, you know, adopting a high intensity training protocol, such as what I instruct here at BioFit, is going to work miracles for overall health and fitness. So I recommend picking up Body by Science by Dr. Doug McGuff and John Little, The Power of 10 by Adam Zickerman, any of Ellington Darden's high intensity training books. Visit baye.com, BAYE.com, that's Drew Bay's website, and all of his blogs and articles. Learn a little more about this, adopt this type of protocol, and you're going to be leaps and bounds ahead of everybody wasting their time 4, 5, 6, or 7 days a week in the gym. So thank you for watching. I've got a lot more weird little topics like this that I want to discuss to help everybody understand and help everybody see how they've been misled in the fitness industry, what the truth of the matter really is. This is Jay Vince at BioFit Personal Training. Yes, this is McCafe, McDonald's coffee cup. It is black coffee, don't break my balls. Pretty much only thing McDonald's is good for, and they're not even good for that because their coffee sucks, but it's right across the street. Anyway, eat healthy too, low sugar, don't eat this garbage, and I'll see you next time.